Hey, what's up, everybody? Time for another episode of Chad's Beer Reviews. This is another beer I got on Tabor. Rwanda Style French Press by Weathered Souls Brewing. So this is a BC beer, 10.8 ABV, 50 IBUs. This is an Imperial Milk Stout with hazelnut and Rwandan coffee. Product of the USA. And the Weathered Souls Brewing, San Antonio, Texas. I think I've had a few other beers. Oh yeah, they had that one with the basketball label. I didn't do a review of it. I just bought it for the label. Plus, I think it was fairly cheap. But this is a super, super dark beer. No foam on it. But it was just pouring out of the can. In fact, when I opened the can, like, it didn't really have much of a hiss, which makes me a little concerned. Like, I poured it, and it was like flat like this, and then all of a sudden the head started to form, but then it fizzled away almost as quick as it formed. I didn't get a picture of the foam there. It was like just super, super dark brown foam. Let's give it a whiff. Yeah, smells like a pretty solid coffee stout. Are they calling it a stout or a porter? Doesn't really. Well, yeah, okay. Well, they say milk stout. Okay, yeah. So, I'm sure there's lactose sugar in here. Let's see what else is in here. Yeah, just pretty big coffee on here, like a cold brew coffee. I can smell sweetness. I mean, they say there's hazelnut in here, so yeah, a little bit of a hazelnut or vanilla, something like that. It's like a coffee with a lot of cream in it. There's like a slight black grape or kind of dark fruit in there. Maybe like some resiny pine hops or something like that. By the way, I got new glasses. Anybody notice? So let me know what you think in the comments. So let's dive in here. Cheers. Wow. That's really, really rich. Wow. That is like fudge. Kind of reminds me of, well, I was gonna say like the Southern Tier Java. But this is, remember, it's not just coffee. It's got hazelnut in here. So it's kind of like a frappuccino or something like that, Just, it has a very, very sugary sweetness to it, but also that actual, like, there's a difference between coffee flavor and like the raw, like, black roasted coffee, like, bitterness. And it's a pretty good balance here. Yeah, I mean, it tastes like a cookie. It is very much like a cookie. In fact, I think it's actually, they're calling it, French press, so immediately you think coffee. But then, like, they just kind of have that, just one word on the side here. Oh yeah, Imperial Milk Stout with hazelnut in Rwandan coffee. But they should have called it like a hazelnut. Like, that should have been the keyword or the buzzword or whatever, because I am getting, like, the hazelnut is the star of the show here. It is very, very sweet. Yeah, no, like, kind of like that coffee is creating for, like, if you ever had a cookie, like a home baked cookie, and like the bottom of the cookie gets like a little bit burnt on the baking sheet, like that flavor. That's kind of what I'm tasting in this beer. So I mean, I'm not saying it tastes burnt. I'm just saying it tastes like a fresh baked, like, chocolate chip cookie. Like, I'm getting, like, I know it's not chocolate in here, but I mean, between the dark malt and the addition of the hazelnut, is that you just kind of get like this general sweetness. So it's kind of like chocolate, vanilla, hazelnut, whatever you want to call it. It's starting to get like cloyingly sweet. It's very, very sweet. And the alcohol is starting to come out now too. I mean, I'm drinking this pretty much at fridge temp. I was only sitting out for like maybe 5 minutes or so. That's like, when you're drinking really sweet beers, I actually recommend drink them cold, because when they warm up, it just become like so cloying. Mouthfeel is, yeah, I mean, it's towards the full end. Carbonation is very low on it. It kind of looks like a glass of like Cabernet or something. You know, it's like, you know, it's kind of flat. Or flabby, which is a word I learned this summer when I was homebrewing or judging homebrews. And when you judge the mouthfeel part, like one of the flaws is like, you know, spastic effervescence or flabby, which means it's like undercarbonated. And then there's flat. I would not call this flat. It's just a little flabby. It's just a little under what it should be. Yeah, it does have like a real cookie flavor to it. It's really interesting. Let me top this off so you guys can see just how dark it is coming out of the can there. Well, actually, with the light behind it, it's like you can see that it's almost like a deep blood red or something. But I mean, well, it's really a brown. But let's keep digging here. Oh, and you can see slight foam on here. Yeah, this is like a liquid cookie. You know, I'm not really. It's funny because usually with milk stouts, I can actually taste the lactose sugar or smell it. It's just like this kind of general dairy kind of flavor and aroma, and I'm not getting it on here. In fact, I'm surprised that the mouthfeel isn't like thicker than it is. I mean, it's. I think they kind of did a disservice. I think this beer, it just seems a little undercarbonated. I think you just need a little bit more. Or, I mean, also when you make like lactose beer, especially an imperial, essentially pastry stout like this, is that it's probably going to be under attenuated. I mean, the yeast can't eat lactose sugar, so it just automatically or naturally has like kind of like a slight kind of under attenuated character to it. I was gonna say a secondary on Brett, but I don't think that wouldn't work. Those flavors would clash. It would just taste like a spoiled beer. So this, I mean, it's a pretty full mouthfeel, but I would not call it like silky or velvety or anything. It's not quite the, you know, milkshake, you know, texture that you're thinking of. But yeah, I mean, this beer is good. I think it's just like way too sweet. They could have done this without the hazelnut, and I think it would have been fine. Just do it as a coffee. And I don't think you need lactose either. Just do it as a stout with Rwandan coffee. So I think they used like a little too many ingredients here, or at least two of them. Because I just don't think anything was gained by. I mean, they're calling it milk stout. I don't know if it has lactose. I'm assuming it has lactose sugar. It says hazelnut, and I'm wondering if that's like it's probably like some kind of concentrate or extract or whatever. 10.8 ABV. It doesn't need to be that strong. You know, a lighter, you know, 8.5, 9% beer. Lose the hazelnut, lose the lactose, and just do a Rwandan coffee. Because like I don't know like what's so different about Rwandan coffee compared to like, you know, Colombian coffee or any other coffee that we get. So, but it's like I want to kind of concentrate on that coffee flavor, and the coffee is like so obscured by the hazelnut. I mean, it's a nice dessert beer, I will say, but even though this is only a 16-ounce can, I kind of wish I had somebody to split this with. So as far as rating on this one, you know, something kind of my New Year's resolution for this year, which should have been 10 years ago, is I'm trying to start grading harsher than I usually do. You know, because usually I would probably give this like a 4 out of 5, but I think this is more like a 3.5, 3.25. It's a fine, tasty, sweet dessert stout, but it's very simple, it's very cloying, and the mouthfeel needs some work on it. So yeah, I think like 3 1/4. You know, this is not a beer that I would get again. You know, it's like, I'm glad I tried it, but I don't need it anymore. I've had better coffee stouts. This started out like that first few sips there were like really interesting, but then it just gets really repetitive and you know, cloying. All right, so I'm going pretty long. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys tomorrow. All right, thanks.